Hello, my Africa. Hello, brothers and sisters. I was supposed to post this next confession at least by next week, Thursday, because I make a confession once a week. Every Thursday, I post confessions. And let me highlight something before I go deeper into the confession. Please, by all means, try to listen as I'm talking to you right now, because the first and last message by the end of the confession, it is very critical so that you can understand. Because when these big guys, I call them big guys, when they contact me, make me to sign an oath that I shouldn't publish their details or any of the details that they have given to me unless they tell me what to say on the confession. So it's not like I'm refusing with people's numbers. These guys are refusing with the details of everything. So do not blame me, because like I say, I started this channel all alone and I did everything all alone. Unless if I had a second person helping me out by reading the confessions, but I'm only alone. So they feel that they can share whatever they have with me. And the other thing is, whatever you believe in, because most people think that I'm doing this for contact, but I have shown so many people proof that I'm not doing this out of contact. I'm not making up these stories. People contact me. So there's an English word that says, believe in what you believe in, and life will go on. So I'm not here to try to convince anyone, because I'm the only channel that I post evidence and videos of the realities of these things. That's the only difference about me with these other all channels of confessions. Anyway, and the confession goes like this. Trying out to become a slave queen is something that you shouldn't try. At first, the money is nice when it comes that easy. You should know that as time goes, you will start having a detachment of what you call love. Because right now, I do not remember when I fell in love. I was slaying and buying all of the expensive clothes that you can think of. But now, it took its toll. Nothing comes for free in this world. It all started when I had failed my grade 12. You know, after school, reality kicks in. The things that your parents did for you while you were in school, they stop. Because after failing my grade 12, I started going out to nightclubs and starting to have fun, thinking that I'm living my best life. And I used to go with girls that are called my friends. And by the end of the day, those same girls introduced me into the prostitution world, or some they call it the sleigh queen world. You know, as you are clubbing as young girls or fresh meat like I was, all kinds of men are attracted to you, and including those ones that are exactly the age mates of my father, because my father right now is 85 years old. During that time of me thinking that I am slaying it, you know how a young girl thinks when she is still fresh and fragile. She thinks that she is on top of the world, but it is not true at all. As we're sitting at the corner of the bar inside, while we were still being mesmerized by seeing people dancing on the dancing floor, I and my friends were just sitting down, and that day we had bought drinks for just us to just sit down and chill. As we were still chilling and drinking our drinks, we saw a handsome, buff, giant, masculine, sexy man that came to our table. And one of my friends started knobbing me with his legs down the table, showing me a sign that, look at this guy. And as that guy approached us, he had a very funny accent. And while as that handsome man was still talking to us with his funny accent, I and my friend started laughing. And after laughing at that man, he asked us, what do we drink? As soon as he asked us, what do we drink, and one of my friends jumped and she said, we drink Hennessy, a bottle wine of Hennessy. And that man started laughing and he said, okay, it is done. And he asked us, what else do we need? And we were just sitting there surprised, thinking that, is this man for real or is he for jokes? And you know how women are. I started falling in love right then and there, because I started imagining myself living a lavish lifestyle. And when he came back after buying that bottle of Hennessy, I jumped into his arms and I told him that, you are mine. And surprisingly, he did not overreact. He just said, okay. And in my mind, I thought that I had hit a jackpot, not knowing that I'm going to suffer for the rest of my life. As soon as the bar was about to be closed, I asked that man a question of, what is the plan, baby? Because the bar is about to get closed. And he was like, no, we're going to go home and just relax there. And I was like, okay, baby, I'm also feeling tired. I just want to relax and go home with you, baby. And as I and that man went out, my friends followed us because we knew that, of course, he is driving an expensive car. And indeed, as we went out, we found out that he is driving a Toyota Fortuner. As we entered instead of that man's car, my friends were so happy, telling me that you are so lucky. You found a good guy. As we were driving on the way, we were listening to loud music, and we went out to drop our friends at their houses one by one. After we had done dropping our friends, I took a short nap, and instead of that short nap, I had a short dream of me dreaming myself that I was lying down on the bed, and as I was lying down on top of the bed, I physically turned into a snake instead of that dream. And as I was turning into that snake, the man that I was with, he was at the door while watching me, and I woke up from that bad nightmare, and I just brushed it off thinking that maybe I am over exaggerating. And as we arrived at his house, I saw a big mansion, and I was asking myself, is this in Africa or what? Because at that mansion, it is at Sandton in Hyde Park. Most South African people know it. And as we entered into that house, you know how a woman's mind is. I was starting to feel horny. I really wanted to give it to him for the whole night so that he can marry me by the end of the day. That's how a woman's mind is when he finds a rich man. And we went straight to the bedroom, and I laid down on top of the bed. And as I laid down on top of the bed, since I was feeling kind of drunk, I told him, baby, I want you. And he came to me and he kissed me with a beautiful kiss that I'll never ever forget. And we did it for the whole night. And in the morning when I woke up, I found him not beside my bed. Because as I woke up, I started to feel kind of weird, like a sick illness of nausea. Kind of like I wanted to vomit. And as I stepped down on top of that bed, I went straight to the toilet. After going to the toilet, when I looked at the bed, I saw a calabash, and next to that calabash, there was a snake. That snake instantly turned into money. After turning into money, it disappeared straight on my face, and I screamed. As I was screaming, that man came running, and he was like, baby, what's wrong? And I was like, baby, I saw a snake disappearing next to that calabash. And he was like, no, you're just daydreaming, baby. And you had drunk too much yesterday. So don't worry, just pack your bags and let's go. I'll drop you off. And after him saying that to me, I felt calm in a way. But I still felt sick in my body. And as we were driving with his car on the way, he told me that he needed to attend a meeting. So he'll just drop me beside the road and give me some money. And as he stopped, I saw him removing a pile bunch of money. And that money was around 5,000 rands. And he was like, baby, this money is for you, only for you to enjoy. And I was so mesmerized and surprised and happy, thinking that I had found a real man. After that man gave me that bunch of money, he dropped me on the road where I can catch a taxi so that I can go home. Then guess what happened? Months later, I started seeing worms, especially when I wake up. Those worms were coming out of my punani, or my private part, in other words. And I screamed out and called my mother to come and see. And she took me to the hospital, and when we arrived at the hospital, they tried to treat me with all kinds of medicine, and it did not work out. And the last result was going to the traditional healers. Even the traditional healers, they did not manage to help me out. Till today, I am getting weaker and weaker every month. As you can see me right now, I am so thin, it is like I did not drink medications of HIV and AIDS. So my message is, those young girls thinking that they are slaying and they are beautiful, they belong on top of the world and they deserve better, since they claim that they are still fresh and beautiful or fragile. They should be very careful of living a life that you cannot maintain. These men, they are not good. They lure women into sleeping with them after they curse those young women with curses that I personally have. Now I'm leaving it to regret it till the end of my days. Please, Mr. Strange African Confession, warn those young girls that nothing comes for free. And that's the end of the confession. All my prayers is on to you, my sister. And I personally talked to this other traditional healer that I know. And he personally said in order for him to help her, she should buy at least 10 cows and bring at least 15,000 pula. So, it is a shame. It is back to square one. So it's a shame for her. So, she said that she'll see what to do. As I told her what the traditional healer told me, since I try to help out wherever I can, but may God be with her. But anyway, thank you, take care, and God bless.